For decades, the ocean kept a secret so vast that even historians believed it was lost forever. A floating fortress from World War II that vanished beneath the waves with hundreds of warplanes still sealed inside its steel belly. This was not just any aircraft carrier, but a supercarrier designed to dominate the skies and seas at the height of the most destructive conflict in human history. When advanced deep-sea technology finally revealed its resting place, what explorers found was almost impossible to believe. Resting silently on the ocean floor, the massive ship lay eerily intact, its hangar decks still packed with fighter planes, bombers, and torpedo aircraft frozen in time, as if waiting for pilots who would never return. The water pressure, darkness, and cold had turned the wreck into a time capsule, preserving a moment from the final, chaotic days of the war. This supercarrier had been rushed into service during the closing stages of World War II, built with unprecedented size and firepower to counter the growing threat across the Pacific. It carried hundreds of aircraft, more than any carrier before it, each one meticulously maintained and ready for combat, but fate intervened before it could fully unleash its power. Accounts suggest the ship was struck during a massive naval engagement, possibly by submarine torpedoes or aerial bombardment, triggering internal explosions that forced the crew to abandon ship. In the confusion of battle, evacuation was incomplete, and the carrier slipped beneath the waves faster than anyone expected, taking its deadly cargo with it. 4 years, rumors circulated among naval historians and deep-sea explorers about a ghost carrier somewhere in the abyss. But without precise coordinates, it remained legend. That changed when a multinational expedition equipped with autonomous underwater vehicles began scanning a remote section of the ocean floor. Sonar readings revealed a massive silhouette, unlike any known wreck. As remotely operated vehicles descended through the darkness, their lights cut through clouds of sediment, revealing the unmistakable outline of a colossal flight deck. What stunned researchers most was the condition of the wreck. The carrier had landed upright, not shattered, not torn apart, but resting as though it had simply been placed there. As cameras moved closer, the discovery became even more chilling. Inside the open hangar bays, rows of aircraft sat exactly where they had been stored nearly 80 years earlier. Wings folded, propellers intact, insignia still faintly visible beneath layers of marine growth. Some planes even appeared armed, their bombs and torpedoes still attached. The lack of oxygen at such depths had slowed corrosion to a crawl, creating one of the most perfectly preserved collections of World War II warplanes ever found. It was as if time itself had stopped the moment the ship sank. Each aircraft told its own silent story. Fighters designed for dogfights that never happened, bombers meant for missions that were never flown. Planes that once represented cutting-edge technology now rested as underwater relics of human ambition and destruction. Personal items were found scattered throughout the carrier helmets. Boots, logbooks, grim reminders that this was not just a machine, but a vessel filled with lives, hopes, and fears. The discovery has reshaped what historians understand about late-war naval operations. Records of the carrier's final mission were incomplete, some even classified for decades. Now, physical evidence suggests it may have been preparing for a massive strike that never occurred. Some experts believe the ship was carrying experimental aircraft or weapons, adding to the mystery of why its loss was quietly buried in wartime chaos. The sheer number of planes found on board suggests it was being repositioned, possibly to support an invasion or counterattack that history never recorded in full. Explorers described an overwhelming sense of silence as they navigated through the wreck. The ocean floor around the carrier was barren, making the ship stand out like a fallen city. Fish drifted through open corridors, and sea anemones clung to radar towers that once scanned enemy skies. The contrast between life and death, between nature and war, was haunting. Every camera feed felt like a direct window into the past, recovering anything from the sight poses enormous ethical and technical challenges. The depth alone makes salvage incredibly dangerous, and many argue the carrier should remain untouched as a war grave. Others believe carefully documenting the wreck is essential before natural decay eventually claims it. High-resolution 3D scans are now being created to preserve every detail digitally, allowing future generations to explore the carrier without disturbing it. The discovery has reignited public fascination with lost World War II relics and raised profound questions. How many other massive war machines still lie undiscovered beneath the oceans? How many stories remain trapped in the darkness, waiting for technology to catch up? This supercarrier is a reminder of the scale of World War II, a conflict so vast that even its largest weapons could vanish without a trace. As news of the find spread, historians, veterans, families, and researchers around the world responded with a mix of awe and solemn reflection. For some, it offers closure. For others, it opens wounds that never fully healed. The warplanes preserved inside the carrier are more than machines. They are symbols of a moment when the world stood on the edge, when the outcome of history depended on steel, fuel, and human courage. Deep beneath the waves, the Supercarrier remains where it fell, its silent decks guarded by darkness and pressure. It no longer launches aircraft or fights wars, but its presence is powerful. It reminds us that history is not only written in books or remembered in ceremonies. Sometimes it waits patiently in the depths, untouched, until we are finally able to find it.